ladies and gentlemen, Joe Rogan has done it again. If you set out to do a show where one of your regular features was every month, what does he do? A show once a week, right? Is that what it is?
Might be a little bit more frequent, maybe twice a week.
Every third or fourth show, we're going to do this bit where we play a clip or I cite an article and I basically say, the people who don't believe that this is happening in our country, you are deluded. And here's the proof. Here's the article, or here's the video. And it turned out that no, actually that's just a fake. And I really I just happened to see it. You couldn't nail it as often as Joe Rogan did, even if you were setting out to do it. Here he is, talking about how things have really gotten out of hand.
This is with the Joey Coco Diaz.
Freak the fuck out. And then there's probably going to be riots. There's probably going to be some crazy.
Oh, pause it. We should say
go back a
that
little
he's
bit
talking about, he's talking about what's going to happen if Donald Trump wins. There's going to be riots and this and that. And it's not inconceivable that there will be a lot of protests. It's not inconceivable that there would be riots. I don't know. It depends on the context. But, I do remember there was a riot after the last election. That was on January 20th, and it actually stormed the Capitol.
Or January 6th.
January 6th, rather. And it stormed the Capitol. And incidentally, that storming of the Capitol was just one part in a bigger plan to overthrow the results of the election. That involved a lot of administration officials. Just FYI. Yeah. But whatever. There's no, I guess there is video of it, but he just didn't see it apparently.
So he gives Joey something to suck on here when they start talking about the election.
Taking the side. There you go. Let's go, Joey. Woo, right? Right away. You're like, Jesus.
He's eating a mint.
Oh.
Or something.
Yeah, the whole presidential election, the thing that scares me is if the Democrats stay in power and Biden stays in power, if you have the same administration, we're headed in the same exact direction as we are right now. And if Trump gets into office, then people are going to freak the fuck out. And then there's probably going to be riots. There's probably going to be some craziness. Probably going to be violence. Probably going to be organized stuff, too. There's probably going to be nefarious groups that organize people to start civil unrest. That's a real thing. Whatever those groups are.
You know what? I wish that was a real thing, but maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the underground is quite, fully developed at this point.
No.
I do love the idea that he's discovered the idea that when you reelect an incumbent president, it's more of the same. And then when you elect a different administration, there are changes and sometimes outrage.
But here is the real question is what is more of the same? We know what Joe Biden is doing up in the office there, but go ahead.
To be nefarious groups that organize people to start civil unrest.
Organizing. Protests.
That's a real thing. Whatever those groups are, whoever you want to call them, that's a real thing. Whether it's Antifa, whatever you want to say. Groups of human beings that will purposely start civil unrest in order to push a narrative about a political movement that the people are tired of Trump, they're hateful.
Incidentally, just some examples would be the anti-war movement of the 60s or the civil rights movement.
Narrative
pushing. Pushing for the Equal Rights Amendment.
That's your narrative.
Or I guess one that Jews will not replace us. That's another one.
Antifa setting, first of all, I haven't heard about Antifa for about 4 years now. But to the extent that they were showing up, it was to protest Patriot Prayer and other fascist groups.
They were there to protect clergy members at protests too.
They were at Black Lives Matter protests, but Antifa became a way for Trump and other Republicans to say black people rioting without actually saying it because they were worried about how that might come across.
Start civil unrest in order to push a narrative about a political movement that the people are tired of Trump, they're hateful. You know what? Jim Brewer has a fucking great bit.
Oh, God.
About the Women's March.
There you go.
He goes, remember when Trump was in office, the Women's March? Goes, yeah, you knew who a woman was then.
Great.
Isn't that a great joke? That's only 2016. 2016, he gets in the office. There's this giant women's march, and now no one can tell you what a woman is. If you had a giant women's march today, it'd be half guys. And you can't say shit. There's your sisters, and then they'll hold an election. The men will win because they're more aggressive. Then you got a man running a women's organization who says
He's
he's
really
a
thought
woman.
this through.
It's a crazy fucking world, bro.
You ever see this video? There's this lady in Chicago,
He's wheezing. That's the
this
thing, is
guy-
that Rogan's got to cover the fact that he's just completely out of breath. I mean, this is just so dumb. It really is. I mean, first off, you're in trouble when you're saying that Jim Brewer has a great joke.
It was all downhill from there.
And you actually can say it with words instead of like making it with
Cockatoo
like
sounds?
a cockatoo sound or like you've gnarled up your face in some way. But
We're saying it with sincerity.
yeah, that's back when you knew men were men. This whole thing too. I went back and looked at a video I did on Glenn Beck's 9/12 day. I think it was like in probably 2010, 2010, 2009, maybe it was 2010. And I interviewed a couple. They were probably in their 50s. And they were talking about all the laws that have like attacked the First Amendment, that you can't speak out your mind anymore about things. And I'm like, what laws? And they're like, well, you should be, I can't come up with any off the top of my head, but you should be allowed to say what you want to say without being chastised for it. That's basically what it is. That's what he's complaining about. Go ahead.
Well, we've went from, again, the underground that's going to do violence after the election to like
To
trans people.
his
Trans
concern
people
about
are secret
his
trans.
concern about the purity of the Women's March organization from a vagina perspective. And then also there were trans women at the I was there. I mean, I there was many diverse people at the Women's March. So it's just, but now it's going to be crazier.
Running a women's organization who says he's a woman.
It's a crazy fucking world, bro.
You ever see this video? There's this lady in Chicago, and this guy is trying to use the women's room, and she's going in there with her daughter, and this guy has a full beard, just a full beard, and she's yelling at him. She's like, you are a whole man. And he's like, I am a woman. And like big deep breath, like deep voice, big husky guy with a fucking beard. It's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? Is this being kind? Is that what this is? Is this being open-minded and compassionate? Or is this opening the door to fucking psychopaths? This is it. Yeah, click this. Look at this.
Yeah, here's the video.
Don't get in my face. Do not get in my face. Don't get in my face. Don't get in my face.
Look at the size of that dude.
You see my daughter right here? You right here? No. You need to go over there to the meeting. You need to go over there to the meeting.
Only here in Chicago.
You is a man. A whole grown man. A whole grown man.
For the last time, I'm not mad.
I'm sorry. I don't know what.
When you see this guy's a big dude.
Yeah, he is.
With a beard.
On my birthday.
Okay, I'm
Good luck. Good luck.
Y'all have a problem with me using
Good
this
luck.
bathroom? Y'all can
Good
use
luck.
Hey, man, use another bathroom. Excuse me?
Just use another bathroom. There's a child in there.
What?
Men.
That's a child.
Just say what you... Huh?
That's a child in there.
This is journalism to
Like, use the
Joe.
men's bathroom.
Okay. I'm a woman. What's the matter? What's the matter? Y'all need to mind your business. I need to mind your business.
This is where world is coming to. I don't know what you're about to learn.
So that's a real thing. Now, the people that want to deny that.
I don't think so.
Just to let you know that is in fact not a.
I think we have to keep it going, though. Yeah.
Y'all need to mind your business. I need to mind your business.
This is where world is coming to. I don't know what you're about to learn.
So that's a real thing. Now, the people that want to deny that that's a real thing, you're doing a disservice for everyone. You're doing a disservice to all the innocent women that have to go into those bathrooms and don't feel safe, and you're doing a disservice to real trans people. There's gonna be
totally
a
cares
bunch of
about.
people that game your system. And there's gonna be a bunch of perverts with fucking beards who want to go where the little girls are shitting. People are out of their minds. There's a certain percentage of people that are out of their fucking minds. It doesn't mean that all trans people are bad. It doesn't mean that all trans people are out of their minds. It means that you have to know what's crazy and what's not. And that's fucking crazy.
Trading the S&P
You have to know. All right, go through this. You have to know what is real and what is not, folks. You need to be able to make that assessment. And if not, you're just deluding yourself. You don't have a clue as to what's going on. This is happening all across the country. Guys with beards insisting they go into the bottom line is, did Joe Rogan just find out that somewhere there are pedophiles or assaulters? I mean, like, as if this doesn't exist or it never existed before. Good.
Mentally ill person with a beard trying to get into a bathroom when a mother and her daughter are in there.
What has this got to do with trans anything?
That's crazy.
The cops weren't called.
Well, it's Chicago, right?
And what happens if the cops come now? What happens in that situation if the cops come? There was no
I'll tell
assault.
you what
That was in
happens.
San Francisco. They might arrest that lady.
You guys,
They might arrest her for being a
shouldn't
bigot.
shoot the sketch.
Who fucking
without a
knows, man?
comment. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
It's Narnia out there. It's a fantasy world. People have lost their fucking mind, and I think it's engineered. I think that China has been TikToking these fucking people into a coma.
Which
I
people,
think
Joe?
all those little videos where, trans awareness and, and maybe you're trans and there are no genders, just 100, and then psychos like that guy now think that the culture has moved to the point where they can kind of get away with it.
Look at his eyes.
Maybe the culture has changed their opinion on things. I think I can get away with this. I think I can wear my full beard with my dick
Is Joey
out
still there?
and go around women. And there's gonna be guys like that, just like there's real trans people. There's gonna be guys that are crazy, that take advantage of this thing that I think has been at least partially engineered by other countries. I think the algorithm supporting that and pushing that out to people are super easily influenced, man. Super easily influenced.
Oh, you know what? Pause it. Actually, they are super easily influenced.
interesting.
I mean, imagine how influenced some people might be by their favorite podcaster who speaks with authority, who's out there, gets paid $100 million by a corporation that has I don't believe everything that's in print, but I mean, if you got a company that is spent $100 million on one of the biggest podcasts in the world, people are easily influenced. It's true. It's almost like we shouldn't have nefarious actors out there trying to influence people. And those people who do have big influence should have a responsibility to actually have a single iota of knowledge and sort of done a single moment of work to know that what they're saying has any basis in reality or truth. It's almost just like that. Continue.
If you make it this thing where you just have to accept everything that happens to be trans, everything is fine as long as you call it trans. Well, then what about perverts? Don't you think perverts are going to game that
Still
system?
against the law, Joe.
This is a Willy Wonka golden ticket for perverts.
No.
That's what it is.
Wasn't there a TED Talk a couple years ago about some chick saying that we need pedophiles?
I'm looking through comments on this saying that this video we just watched is satire.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen other videos like this where there are people that, I don't know who they are, but there are groups of people that will make videos like this that make them seem real.
Sketch groups?
God, that lady's a great actress.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm looking at a lot of comments.
It's
like,
her fault.
Stage, this is
She was
fake.
too good at
Well, they might be right. But that lady,
But-
if that's true, that lady's a fucking great actress. Because that lady really did seem like someone who was very flustered and was trying to protect her daughter.
Yes, she was.
And if it is satire and you use that that girl was a really good actress too, because she looked like a girl would respond if a fucking grown man was trying to get in the bathroom and their mother was fighting with this grown man. Like, she was frozen.
Yeah.
So if
Focus
that's
on that
true,
part, you fuck.
if that is fake, they're really good actors.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I knew the world was going crazy.
Okay, so they
Yeah,
move on.
I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb. This is just a freaking Oscar performance over here.
Oh my God.
I mean, this is the guy that said that there were he heard from somebody who was a teacher.
His
that
buddy.
His buddy. Who's
married to a teacher.
Yeah. Sure. Right. That there are kids that are peeing in litter boxes in schools because they're identifying as cats. And then it comes out that is not a true statement. It's a right-wing hoax. So we know now there that he's willing to lie / stretch the truth about his own like assessment of kids and trans issues in society. And there he just like displayed it as well. He's saying how the world's gone crazy, where he's not smart enough to realize how he's working backwards from all of his priors.
Of course. Yeah. Yes, he's gone crazy.
But there's a market for it. He's mining.
Totally.
He brought it up with this comedian.
People are completely susceptible to being influenced.
Diaz barely responds too, because this guy, he must ask, I don't know, you guys are producers who watch more of this stuff than me, but it seems like he tries to engage with this topic with basically every guest.
Joe Rogan is on the, like, one of the algorithms, like one of the things that algorithm is feeding Joe Rogan is black people acting in conservative ways. So like he was really obsessed with all the black people who were upset with refugees being resettled in Chicago, thinking that it was the Democrats trying to buy votes by upsetting the voters. Anyway, these people, again, like black people doing something like basically anti-trans, he cannot see that. Again, this is from the Jabrizi. What's the Facebook? Jabrizi
Facebook,
which is, if you hover over Bradley, the Jabrizi, so I can see what the I'm a director making controversial videos that feel real.
Oh yeah, well, it feels very real.
He's a comedian.
Exactly, literally. And so like look at this video, and as R.M. Brown, who covered this really well, points out, like, how do you not immediately know that this is why would somebody be filming a mother and daughter walking hand in hand to the bathroom?
I love my mom. I've never held hands with her at this age going into the bathroom.
Let's see this great acting. Go ahead, Bradley.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
I'm going to the bathroom.
This women's bathroom, the men's bathroom's up there.
I know that. I'm a woman.
Okay, so why do you think you finna go in the women's bathroom?
Because I'm a woman.
Me and my daughter is finna go in this bathroom. You need to go where you belong, in the men's bathroom.
Oh, where I belong?
Yes, where
I'm
you
going to
belong.
this bathroom.
No, you not finna go in this bathroom. Me and my daughter is finna go in this bathroom.
You gonna stop me from going to
Yes, I am gonna stop you.
I identify as a woman.
I don't care what you identify.
So that's Joe Rogan.
That's amazing
real.
actor.
He got really fooled by that. I mean,
Oscar-winning performance. I mean,
the terror that I feel from that child there. And he also tells on himself where he's like, kids shitting, little girls shitting in the bathroom.
That's weird.
Why are you thinking so much about kids and their, like, whatever?
I'm not getting all that gender stuff either on my feed.
Well, okay, I gotta be, I speaking as, like, someone who was once a girl, I don't know if I would have ever felt unsafe if there was a man presenting as a man in the bathroom with me. I mean, it's just such projection too. Like, the idea that because your private parts are exposed when you're going to the bathroom, that there's something inherently sexual about it, and that, like, you can't be in a space where, especially when it's girls' room, and they always focus on girls because it's this like misogynistic protectionist thing, like, especially in girls' restrooms, there's stalls, buddy. Like, no one's looking at each other except if you're telling on yourself.
And even in that sketch, that person didn't commit any crime. There was no assault done. And to the extent they would have committed a crime, then the police could have been involved and arrested them. Like,
right.
Exactly. Mom is there. Call the police. There's someone obviously with a camera right behind there, so you'll be able to find this culprit. I mean,
and the full concern, like, oh, this is actually, if you're pretending that this isn't real, then you're doing a disservice to trans people.
That's the part that really is, to me, I find the most astonishing, is it's not just he sees this and it's thought-provoking. It's not just he sees this and it guides what he's saying. It's that he sees this and he thinks that you are an idiot if you don't understand what this is. Right. I mean, it is like, it's not just ignorance. It is ignorance so bathed in a self-satisfied, completely wrong-headed self-assessment.
Yeah.
It is like off the charts.
And this is
to see this level of ignorance and this level of confidence in that ignorance is really hard to find. But this is how this corporation, Spotify, makes a ton of money.
Yeah.
That's good for engagement.
Corporate media.
To amp people up like that. Get them so angry that they think like literally the Chinese are brainwashing all of us as they get, you know,
and let's be real,
worked by reactionary propaganda.
Yeah, this is the new version of gay panics, right? Except with a guy that, you know, would probably say, I guarantee you this would be this is kind of reaction when you bring up gay people. People could do whatever they want, man. I don't care if who you fuck behind the scenes. But for me, like, I'm just worried about, honestly, predators. I'm worried about predators against kids in bathrooms. You know, what's so amazing about these bigots is they're so unoriginal. It's just the same stuff you heard about gay people. Same stuff.
As if
coming for your kids.
There's no predators that you should watch out for. First of all, I mean, aside from like the whole predator thing, it's been, you know, is a way to make parents terrified.
Yeah.
But what possible difference does the existence of trans people have to do with predators in a public restroom?
Right. Trans people are victims more often than
far more
victimizers.
And you know who's the most often perpetrator of child abuse? Somebody the kid knows. Somebody you already know, overwhelmingly likely.